Talks.
Welcome, everybody. This is Go Movie Talks. This is Freddy Velasquez speaking, and my lovely co-host, Maria Laura. Maria Laura, how are you doing today?
Great. Today is Friday, and I can't feel happier for that.
Oh my God. First of all, I imagine you will know when we're recording this today, Catherine O'Hara passed away. May she rest in peace. Thank you so much for your contribution, Catherine. I was deeply affected by it today, so I think it is worth bringing up in this recording. Now, moving
Absolutely.
on. Yeah, look, we have to dedicate one episode to her, or at least one of her movies or works. Uh,
Absolutely.
Now, what are we discussing today, Maria Laura?
We are talking about a great movie. I know you didn't want to mention the name because it was pretty long, so you left that to me. The movie
I
is
I mean, I've been the one talking for quite a while, so I want to switch it up.
the movie is I Don't Feel Welcome. No, I don't feel at home. I don't feel at home in this world anymore.
Okay, okay. Um,
But I was close to that.
I mean, and the whole time we discussed it, I was calling it something different. It's the name is just too long. I think that's about the
Yeah.
only quote unquote negative thing you can say about this movie because everything else is sublime. It's very enjoyable.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree. And it's just one of those long names, difficult to remember. As simple as that.
Exactly, because actually I like the name. I don't have an issue with it. It's just that it's long and hard to remember. But
Exactly. Yes. But once you watch the movie, you can easily understand the feeling of that title. Okay?
mhm.
Absolutely. So, what's this movie about, Freddie?
Look, I think there's a very easy way to summarize it. The main character is tired of people being assholes.
Absolutely.
Enough, and I think it's very on topic because honestly, the trend nowadays is for more and more people just to be assholes and don't mind the consequences of their actions. So
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
very much on topic. Um, However, I had watched this movie quite a while ago, but you chose to do this movie. Please tell me. Well, I already know, but tell the audience, please.
Well, starring in this movie, Melanie Lynskey and Elijah Woods. I mean, those two, and they alone shine. But when you put them together, it's like it's an additional doses of light.
To me,
Okay.
I think these two actors, they are very much weirdos in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
And together they just you can tell they don't fit in I, I would say society, but it's also worth mentioning in current society because exactly what we were discussing. They feel alienated by how people are just doing whatever they want, regardless of how the others may be afflicted by these
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
don't know. And look, I will say that Linsky is this a very much underrated actress. I feel she deserves all of the glory. She's very down to earth, and you can
Absolutely.
easily see that in her acting across a lot of the characters. I mean, I've seen a lot of her movies, not all of them, but every time I see her on the screen, it's easily relatable. She is so grounded whenever she just shows up on screen.
Yeah, she has, these, I don't know what in her acting that actually makes it quite relatable, as you said, with the characters she has uh, um, performed in
To
various
me,
movies and in series also.
to me, it's literally all about the fact that you can tell she's very much confident and comfortable in her own skin, and
Yes.
it just shows through the screen. By Hollywood standards, she does not have the Hollywood body, but she is so sexy, attractive,
Oh,
and confident. I love
absolutely.
it. I love seeing her on screen.
And she
But
knows it, and she doesn't care about, those Hollywood standards. She just, she has a statement with her position and her acting and
yes,
all her behavior. That's it's easy to see while talking to her, because I've seen, like, interviews, everything. So she's great. To me, she's one of the greatest actress of these times, Even when, you said it, she's completely underrated, although uh, again, something that makes her great is that she has participated in a variety of movies, whether independent or commercial movies, and she's made just great, fantastic. So,
yeah, but I think she that I remember. She has not received that many accolades, and I just don't get it. To me, she's the foster child of everything that I don't know. She's just relatable. I think she would be an easy pick for, I don't know, something like I would. I don't necessarily put her at the same level as Emma Stone, but she's that relatable because Emma Stone, to me, I see her on the screen. You can easily relate to whatever it is she's doing. She's very good at connecting with the audience. I find her the same way. Of course, she has a much darker sense of humor.
yes,
I think
absolutely. Well, if I were to find, a resemblance to another actress, to me, her personality and her acting is very similar to Julianne Moore, It's that kind of actresses that takes the character and makes, that sort of magic. And at the same time, personally speaking, outside the screen, this person is something particular. So that's my resemblance.
think it may also come down to the fact that she is so grounded that she does not like fame. So she may purposely choose roles that are just out of the ordinary and not necessarily super commercial, which
Yeah,
I love. Look, that's where the good cinema is at, but at the same time, quote
yeah,
unquote, it's at the detriment of furthering her career. However, I don't think she needs it. She's very much accomplished. She's well established. She just probably does not choose that many commercial roles because that's not her taste.
exactly. So, putting the greatness of this actress aside, this character represents this character represents a commoner, okay? A single woman who lives alone. She's a nurse, and she's burgled at home, and the thanks to this, there's a chain of consequences in this movie. Okay. I mean, she has to talk to the police, she has to talk to, a bunch of people, etc., etc. And, to sum up, as Freddie just said, they're all assholes. Okay.
And it also, very importantly, it's pretty much explained why they're all assholes. Like, like 80-90% of the characters, they all have problems. They're all
Yeah.
absorbed in their own problems, because the most remarkable one to me is the police officer.
Yeah, but
I also
that's
think,
part of the broken system,
yes,
broken
but
systems.
look, that's also part of it. How can you get a justice system without people? Of course, you need people to be part of it, but at the same time, people are afflicted by the same grievances we're affected. So it just makes all the sense in the world to put this guy just, hey, I know you have this problem, but I'm I'm going through a divorce. To me,
Yes,
that felt so natural. At the same time, that's the movie is riddled with human grievances, and clearly all of the characters not knowing what to do with them.
yes.
And that is a very relatable situation, because nowadays I think problems are just piling up one on top of the other, and we're not necessarily addressing them for whatever reason. Maybe we don't have the time, we don't have the money, we don't have the patience, you name
Or
it.
we simply don't care, There's a meme for that, the cat drinking some piña colada and the world burning at the back. It's exactly the same, okay?
But at
Current
the
time.
same time, the a lot of these characters sometimes don't even realize that there is a problem. So that's also part of it, because you have some other characters that not necessarily see things as problems. So that's also where I don't know, the movie does a really good job showcasing how different people perceive different things and how different people deal with them. So it's a very humane movie. It
Mhm.
solely addresses human reality. This movie is from 2017. And I think almost 9 years after its release, it's so current. It's still very much applicable.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's this other character who accompanies this girl in this whole situation, which is Elijah Wood's character. Okay. Again, fantastic actor. We're not going to extend too much on his greatness because we suppose you already know people. But the thing is that she meets this guy in the middle of this conflict and not in the best way, okay? Not in the best way. It's like, okay, you're facing a problem, you have this issue, you're living that uncomfortable and that, you feel like itchy, okay? And life as it is, there is this guy who is her neighbor, okay? But actually, at the very beginning when they meet, it's because he was an asshole to her.
Well, not purposely, but
Not
still.
purposely,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
But in the most relatable way, because I think the movie very cleverly set it up so that it's the most relatable situation possible. Literally, this lady, she owns a home, and the Elijah Wood's character is walking his dog, and the dog did his business, and in the yard, in her yard, and there is a sign saying, "Hey, um, no pooping, whatever, pick it up." Just a sign saying not to do it. And he didn't even realize the dog just went, did his business. He kept going, and she just grabs the piece of turd with the newspaper and just throws it at him. So that is it. I think it's the catalyst to
Yeah.
for things to get going. And again, it's important to make it this relatable, because everybody has been in that situation. Even if you don't have a home like I do, I rent. But we live in a complex, and
In
people
both
here own
sides.
dogs.
In both sides, because this guy was listening to music. So he didn't
Yeah,
realize.
yeah, yeah. But I mean the trigger, what caused, what started the chain of events. It was the robbery to her home, but the what started the chain reaction of her to take action
Mm,
was something as simple as this: just do something about it. And it's on one hand,
It
it's
was.
something very innocent because it's just addressing the fact that the dog had pooped on her lawn, but at the same time, is hey, you can do something about it. So that's where the movie's going. You don't have to keep quiet. You can always address things, and yeah, somewhat passive aggressively in the entire movie. It's very passive aggressive, but at the same time, she is doing something. So
Yeah.
that is, I think that's a very
She
much underlying
moves
message.
her fingers, she's reacting. Okay. Again, she's a human being. All right. So she's definitely reacting, and it triggers another chain of situations. Like, for example, meeting this guy, okay, who eventually, throughout the whole movie, uh,
They get close.
they
They
get
become close.
close. Exactly. They become friends, and they at the very end they get to a next level. Okay. So how do they become friends? Again, not in the best way.
I mean, let's face it, Elijah's character was perfectly interpreted as the weirdest person in the world just because and I think his attitude, I understand it. It's very relatable. He acknowledges he had been an asshole unwillingly, but he was. And
Uh-huh.
so he offers her to punch him in the face just to balance the energies. That is I remember watching this. This is so uncomfortable, but so
You know,
relatable. It's so
not
smart.
finding anything to offer, he just came with that. You know?
I mean, but look, I did something to you. You can do something to me. We balance the, like quoting him. We balance the
We're
energies,
even.
and yes, yes. So I love the script here. It's
Yeah,
just it
yeah,
feels like just somebody very much understanding of human nature wrote it.
exactly. And thanks to that reaction she had at the beginning with him, I feel she gets, motivated to pursuing this whole situation about her the burglary, and she starts, looking for this guy. Okay. Well, she starts looking for this guy. No, she receives a notification on her phone that her laptop was stolen, and she receives the location of the laptop. I mean, imagine that. And then she calls the police.
And look, it's how that's how it is because I did not remember this movie had this section in it, but a similar situation happened to me at some point. My Switch was stolen from my car, and I remember I got a different one, and I could tell when it was being used, the my original one, and I remember I contacted the police. Of course, not in such a dramatic way. I did not call 911 and 911, but I still report it as, hey, I have the IP address of where this is being used. Go and do something about it. And oh, we'll put it in the file. Oh,
We'll
so
put it
again,
in
this
the
is
file. I mean, notice that
exactly.
huge gap. I mean, and there's when you realize, okay, technology is offering me these opportunities, but hey, there is a system that's
Mhm.
way too behind that. Okay. And we're talking about today, because if it happens today, I believe the outcome will be the same. Okay. They will put it in the files and
So
move on if they
yeah.
put it in the files. Okay. However, um, she continues to pursue these, and she involves this guy to help her with the
Well,
situation.
he volunteers. He's also again, I think he's craving connection. He just doesn't know how to clearly by the interaction
Yeah.
between the two at the very beginning. So she sees the opportunity.
Wait a minute. He volunteered just because she didn't want to hit him back. So,
At the same time, he was also craving connection because you can volunteer for one thing, but he stuck to it. So there was clearly something going on, and further down the movie, we reach a point where, again, she's a perfectly represented human being, so nothing is perfect. She let's say she was on this how to call it, on this path to search for justice, up to a point, she loses her grip and she steals something from somebody. And then the
Exactly.
deer, and then he's complaining about it. He's
And
like, no,
becomes part
why
of the chaos.
are you stealing from this guy? That was never in the plans. And she's just mad, so she's trying to release some steam, and he's disappointed. So that there is also that side where, okay, you're the one overreaching. You're not, this is no longer about justice, but rather just revenge or harming somebody else instead of actual revenge or balancing. So he's disappointed. So they showcase a very layered character, and I very much appreciate that, because that's exactly how we are, all of us.
Absolutely. And it also invites audience to think about, okay, what would make you feel real bad so that you do something? Okay. And if you do something, how far are you able to go with
To
it?
what extent? Yes, because that's the
Exactly.
thing. Here, we can see how the characters are very much, I mean, they go very far, and it just escalates. It really gets to a very high tension point where you, as a viewer, I mean, you're just on the verge of your seat because you have no clue what's going to happen. And what you expect happened, it ends up happening. But I mean, even though it's expected, at the same time you don't really expect it. But I don't know, it's just that scene was a very well put together, because one thing takes to another, blah blah blah, you
Yeah.
end up at
And
a,
yeah, and we have to consider the fact that everything happens so fast, you know?
yes.
I mean, maybe if you take the time to reflect, to digest, masticate the situation a little bit, maybe outcomes would have been different. But in this case, everything happens so fast. Okay,
But
there's
that's
no
the
time to
thing,
think.
and that's the thing, that main characters, they are very much rational characters,
Mhm.
and they're trying not to let their emotions drive them. However, you also have these anarchic characters on the other side, opposing this idea of planning. They literally just go by their instincts, and that's also part of it. Like, whenever you jump into these kind of situations, now you have to face uncertainty. And
Uncertainty.
exactly,
Exactly.
so that is
Because
exactly how this is
let's
what
be
takes
real,
place.
and this is the part where I felt most identified with the main character. Is like you find assholes like this every single day. Every single day, you get in the subway, you're walking on the streets, or wherever you go, or maybe inside your own house. Okay, so again, it's like you think you take some time to think, hey. Should I do something like this? A few days ago, actually, I was walking on the streets near my house, and there is this guy, you know, scrolling on his phone, whatever, and suddenly he takes some papers and he throws them on the floor. As simple as that. And I felt so angry for that. So angry. So angry. But only the fact, I mean, if you think about that for about 5 minutes, imagine you turn and then you hit the guy, or you start screaming at him like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" and all that. Another series of problems begins. So it's like, up to what extent should we
Do you
react?
want to know?
Exactly. It's a delicate topic. It's a
Yeah,
delicate topic, especially
because
the
I think that's exactly the bottom line of this movie. Like, yes, you can retaliate, you can have a reply to whatever is happening to you, but at the same time is rationally speaking, how far are you willing to go? How,
Exactly.
like, the consequences of your acts, how further take these actions.
And even
And
and
we go
this
to the very extreme with these, which is exactly, this is the chance to explore those things. But at the
and
same time is for the viewer to reflect, right?
exactly.
Why are we going this far? Like,
And this
can
is something that's movie show and real life shows is that no matter what the other did, if you're the one who makes more noise, maybe you can face the most difficult consequences.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
again, it's a matter of, you know, just to give it a moment to think, to reflect, to think about the consequences. And that difficult moment, some of us just don't take when we get mad, because we get mad. That's not rational. I mean, we've said this before. Emotions are not logical. Okay, they're just there, and they activate. As simple as that. Okay, but Will, Freddie, um, I guess this is it.
Well, okay, damn. I guess this is it.
I guess so. Do you have anything to add?
No, we've ruminated on this long enough. I mean, it's readily available on easily the most famous streaming platform. So go ahead and watch it. Let me repeat the name for you because it's a long one. I don't feel at home in this world anymore. Go and watch it. Give it a chance. Again, 2026. Just keep on surprising me. This is the kind of surprises we're talking about. Go and watch
Melanie,
it. It's very much enjoyable.
Elia, we love you, but Melanie, we're all yours. All yours. Absolutely. I'm one of your biggest fans. And
No,
I'm
and
sure
honestly,
Freddie is too.
both of you make a great splash. I don't understand why the movie didn't grab more traction, but it's just so relatable. Sometimes people don't like facing reality so much, and this movie is filled with
And,
reality.
and and the worst part is that Freddie always prompts you to drop your reality in the comments. You see? You see?
Very good. That plug, amazing. Yes, just drop your reality in the comments, people. Absolutely. Just
Okay,
let us know if you've ever thrown shit at somebody. Just let us know.
okay, people, just remember, please subscribe, share, comment, and give us a like. If, of course, if you liked the episodes.
No. If give us a like, regardless.
It's an order.
It's an order. No, thank you
Exactly.
so much for watching Go Movie Talks. This has been Maria Laura, Freddie, and see you next time. Like, share, subscribe.
Let's go movie talks. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. Go Movie Talks.